Jeremy said we're going now, so we're going now. What is going on, Sports Wars? We're here. We're live. Forgot that I was supposed to start the countdown before we actually went, but it doesn't fucking matter because there's breaking news. So we're starting a little bit early. Julio Jones on the move. According to many sources, deal's going to get done in the next day or two. He's headed to the Titans. Pretty big shakeup, pretty big talent guy on the move. Is it going to put the Titans over the top? Who knows? I'm sure we'll talk about it a lot today. But first, Jeremy, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm tired. I was up late last night trying to download games from Game Pass on Xbox Live. Just Mark the Cyborg will be happy about that. But I picked up my Xbox Elite controller the other day during an argument, and it made me remember how much I really miss playing with the Xbox Elite controller because it is fantastic. But yeah, I'm here, and yeah, the Julio Jones news is pretty big, pretty interesting stuff. So I'm ready to get into it, and we'll probably bitch about LeBron James because that's kind of what we do around here. We're not gonna miss the opportunity to bitch about LeBron just because there's breaking news. So don't worry, everybody.
Oh. Yeah, we're going to have plenty of that. But when the news broke beforehand, again, we are a sports channel. We do cover sports. So we're obviously going to talk about that as well. But yeah, just because we streamed right after LeBron James quit on his team like the little bitch that he is, and right after he decided that he just didn't want to play anymore, we streamed. A lot of people are watching that. It doesn't mean we're not going to talk about him on Sunday. You fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
John, how's it going, man?
Doing well, man. Doing well. We got up this morning. We live streamed. We talked about LeBron and some other stuff. So we hammered him pretty hard. So ready to do it, man.
He deserves it. He deserves it.
Yep.
Yeah, well deserved for LeBron James, the self-declared greatest of all time. Always proves that he is not that. Will never be that. Has never even been close to that. And every time people start seriously, like you see some people, maybe the conversation will seriously start to shift. He does something like this and reminds everyone that this dude could never be Jordan in his wildest dreams.
Nope, not even
close. No.
But the news that we got today, I want to look at Ian Rappaport because he is the one that broke it. Let's take a look at his Twitter. Boom.
I was not expecting this morning.
No, me neither. I saw it. I saw it retweeted, I think, by Bleacher Report. Just basically, as I was making this stream, I was sitting here before I sent the link out to you guys. Sources: the Falcons are trading all-pro wide receiver Julio Jones to the Titans in exchange for at least a second-round pick. A blockbuster for Tennessee, who now gets their coveted big play threat. And Atlanta ends up with very nice value. Now, I think there's going to be a lot of people that think, oh, wow, only a second-round pick for Julio Jones, but when you look at
he didn't play much last season.
When you look at the type of money that he is getting paid, there's not a ton of people that want to take on that kind of cap hit at the wide receiver position for good reason. Because historically, when you take on that much, when a wide receiver takes that big of a chunk, it can be tough to have a successful season, to win a Super Bowl. But the Titans are doing it. The Titans feel like they need to go out and get another playmaker. They did that, only gave up a second-round pick, if these reports are clear. What are your thoughts going on right now, Jeremy?
I think a lot of people expected this to be an Aaron Rodgers, Julio Jones potential combination. That's what a lot of people were thinking, especially with Julio Jones' comments. He is one of the best receivers in the NFL. It's a strange fit at first, but then when you start thinking about, Derrick Henry and how much attention he's going to take up, you got AJ Brown, then you have Julio Jones. Tannehill might actually look like a legit QB with this type of weapons on offense. So I kind of like the fit the more I think about it. Because at first I was thinking Tannehill, but then I'm like, they got weapons, and you've got Derrick fucking Henry, roll tide, by the way. You got Derrick Henry back there in the backfield. So, I mean, that's a pretty dynamic offense right there. And so I think it's a decent fit.
Yeah, when you look at the way that they've run things in Atlanta and you look at the run game that they've had there, it's never been necessarily like a go-to run game. You had like Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman sharing snaps for a while, both of whom were somewhat effective, but that was kind of more just the amount of times that they were on the field and the touches that they were getting. But to have a guy like Derrick Henry, where you have teams consistently putting 8 people in the box to stop, now you're going to have to cover Julio and A.J. Brown. How are you going to fucking do that? That's going to be a tough solution for them to come up with. What are your thoughts, John, on this trade?
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill. Does he have... He shouldn't get a pass if he doesn't look good. I've never been a Tannehill guy. I just don't believe in him. So it's kind of surprising that because Julio had a no trade clause, right?
Don't know about that.
So, not sure. Okay,
don't know about that.
He may have, but he was like, I only want to play for these teams. So
right. I don't know. Ryan Tannehill is. I don't know. They're not the favorites. Well, I think still.
No, I think they would be the favorites in the South. Who would they be? I mean,
no. I was talking about AFC.
Okay.
AFC overall.
Okay, and since in the South, I mean, now Tebow has competition. Once he becomes QB1, so now Tebow might have some competition.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm surprised we didn't get a Jeremy video saying Tim Tebow or Julio Jones wants to go to Jacksonville for Tim Tebow. He wants to prove that he really can catch anything. Yeah. So when you look at Julio's contract this year, he's got let's see. Base salary $15 million, signing bonus of $5 million, a cap hit of $23 million.
Ooh.
A cap hit of $23 million for a wide receiver is a lot. And that's one of the reasons that you don't have because you would think if Julio Jones is on the market that every single fucking team would be after him. But not a lot of people can afford that. Not a lot of people can afford to go out and spend a quarter of their cap on a wide receiver.
Because if you look at it, wide receivers don't really make the difference between what you were before and what you're going to be the next season. I mean, it's going to take more than that. I mean, maybe the Titans aren't done or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot of money for a wide receiver.
Yeah. And I said a quarter of the cap. It's not technically a quarter. I forget exactly what the number was. Something like 160 million, 170 million is going to be the salary cap this year. Right around there, if I remember right. But either way, 23 million is a lot. Lot.
Where did the Titans, didn't they win last year the division? Let's see.
Yeah, I believe they won the division, and then they had a quick exit out of the playoffs because Derrick Henry got
they won 11. They were 11-5 last year. So were the Colts, but Tennessee, it looks like, got the tiebreaker there. And they were 8-4 in the conference, 5-1 in the division. I mean, there's potential there. I'm not a believer in Ryan Tannehill, but there's potential. I don't believe in him. But again, when you have that dynamic, I mean, you've got an A+ running back and an A+ wide receiver. And A.J. Brown's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a good situation right there. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's not the home run that a lot of people expected. It's not the most sexy destination.
He's not going to the Patriots.
He's not going to the Patriots. Yeah, he's not going to the Niners. He's not going to the Jaguars. So I mean,
they were what, 12? They were 11-5 last season.
11-5, yeah.
Maybe they'll be 12-5 this season. One extra game.
Yeah. But I think that at the end of the day, when you saw in the playoffs, it was like Ryan Tannehill that first season there looked like a different guy from the person we saw in Miami. This year was a little bit of a step back to reality, I think, for the Titans and for Ryan Tannehill specifically. And he definitely looked like he needed more help. Like he's not just going to be a guy that's going to be able to put the Titans on his back and carry them when people are corralling Derrick Henry. And they're not going to ask him to do a ton, but they are going to have to ask him to make plays. And you just got one of the most dynamic playmakers in the game with Julio Jones. This is all assuming that physicals work out and everything, which we have no reason to believe they won't. But.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting. And like I said, you got a pretty weak division, or at least the AFC South, your weak conference right there. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Not like I said, not the Grand Slam that I think a lot of people were expecting, but it's probably not as bad of a move as it seems on the surface. So look, it really comes down to this? Do I think Tannehill's better than Matt Ryan? I think that's probably about the same exact situation right there. I'm not a Matt Ryan fan. I'm not a believer in Matt Ryan. I never have. I've always said Matt Ryan's a slightly better version of Andy Dalton, and that's not a compliment. And I think Matt Ryan has proven that. I mean, he has had Julio Jones. He has had good receiving corps. And yes, he did take them to the Super Bowl to embarrass themselves. He did win the MVP that year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, he did.
Matt Ryan, he won the MVP that year, which was a joke of a MVP, in my opinion. I just don't.
I think Tannehill provides a little bit of mobility as well, which is a little bit underrated for him. I don't have his numbers or anything, but I know he does scramble much more and much better than Matt Ryan does. And it gives you another, something else. And I think at this point, I would probably take Ryan Tannehill over Matt Ryan if I was picking quarterbacks. But again, we haven't seen, we've only been able to say that for maybe the past 2 years. Never before that. Never any of that time in Miami. It's only since he went to the Titans.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've always been down on Matt Ryan. I mean, I remember back in the Matty Ice days where he would, win, his home winning percentage was so ridiculous and all that, and people were saying, like, because he came from the Boston area and he was a Brady fan, they're like, he's gonna be the next Tom Brady, and I was like, no, the fuck, he's not. And again, I don't think Matt Ryan's a bad quarterback. Like, he's not awful. There's a ceiling, and he has hit that ceiling. And he overperformed that year that they went to the playoff or went to the Super Bowl. He overperformed big time and got elevated. And he's probably one game away from being called an elite quarterback by a lot of the media because of that season. If they would have won that game and he had a Super Bowl, they would probably have him in the elites, kind of how they tried to put Flacco there for like a season.
They have him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm not a believer in Matt Ryan at all, and clearly Julio Jones isn't either. So
the Falcons are. The Falcons had an opportunity to take a quarterback. The Falcons, knowing this situation with Julio, decided to take the tight end from Florida, who's a monster, who is likely going to be replacing Julio in terms of targets and that deep field threat. When you look at Kyle Pitts from Florida, so once they made that decision, that means that they're sticking with Matt Ryan, at least for the foreseeable future, for the next couple years. Mm-hmm. So they still believe in Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
But Drunk 3PO, I'm all in for the Titans this year. That was his pick last year, right?
I think so. Didn't he?
I thought he picked the Titans last year.
Drunk 3PO's NFL picks are sus as fuck, okay? How old is that pizza, Ryan?
I literally, it's frozen pizza that I made this morning.
Okay.
I put it in the oven at 8:00 in the morning.
I still haven't eaten yet.
Get on it, man. I'm on Pacific time. This is my breakfast. But we should probably see what we got going on. We do have one channel member, which I can't see because the damn thing blocks it. So let me pull that up really quick.
I didn't see that notification pop up.
For Sports Wars, or
yeah, I didn't see a channel member for that, but we did get a super chat from Dixon Cider. Says, "Be careful when you open my gift, Jeremy. The food might not be good anymore. LeBron will never be GOAT." Okay, don't ever send me food in PO box because it will be very. Now Ryan might eat it, but I'm not gonna eat it. So I will definitely keep that in mind. I've got a stack sitting over here. I will get to it. I know I've been saying that, but don't send me food. Thank you for the super chat. That's gonna be an interesting one right there. I'll mail it to Ryan though.
Yeah, I'll fucking eat it. It's fine. We do have the channel member of Michael Ruka. Michael Ruka becomes a channel member. Thank you, man. Really appreciate that. We've got another super chat from Yojitsu for 5. Says, how do you guys feel about the Ravens and Lamar this year?
I mean, honestly, Lamar Jackson has definitely performed far better than I anticipated him to perform in his NFL career. There's no doubt about that. Now, I still don't think it's sustainable. I think he's electric. I think he's fantastic. I think there's moments where he can just blow you away with some of the things he does, but I don't think he's a sustainable quarterback. But he has performed better than I thought, because I watched Lamar in college, and he was great. He was great, but I never believed he would do anything in the NFL, and he's proven me wrong. So I give him credit for that. But moving forward, I'm not a believer.
Yeah, I thought he'd be like an RG3 type of bust. You know what I mean? Like a guy who could come in.
Though. He's
about to get paid a
time.
lot.
Yes,
I thought he'd be somebody that came in, made some big plays, threw some deep balls, but kind of just fizzled out. You know what I mean? I thought he would get injured a lot.
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit worried about that. Some of the hits that he takes, but he has surpassed my expectations. I don't think that he's one of like the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. Like he's about to get paid like. So I don't know. I mean, the Ravens keep doing their thing. They continue to reload. They continue to adjust. They continue to do what they need to do to stay relevant.
Well, the AFC North is tough. I mean, you've got the Steelers, you got the Browns, and you've got the Ravens. All had good records last year. So the North is already tough. But they might be are they the favorite this year? Like, I mean, I don't feel like Pittsburgh is as sexy as they have been in years past. I know they started out the year last year, undefeated, and then they kind of fell off. Easily a top 20.
I agree, Mark. Yes, Lamar is easily in the top 20. Yeah.
But I would say Browns. A lot of people are saying the Browns are. Yeah, so the Browns are the favorite. Okay, Browns are the favorite. That's the tough one right there. That might be one of the toughest divisions right now in the NFL. So I would say I'm not a big believer in the Ravens, but I don't think that they're going to be terrible. I think they're going to have a shot. And Lamar Jackson is fun to watch. I just don't think he's a sustainable long-term quarterback.
Yeah, I think they win 10 games. And, 10 games now means 10-7 because it's a 17-game season, which is that is going to be tough to continue to wrap our heads around this year now that we're at 17 games.
It feels weird.
Yeah.
It does feel weird.
Yeah.
Feels very strange indeed. The Greg for $5. Did John have a good time at Chuck E. Cheese last week? # where's Uche? Fire Chip Kelly.
Well,
Uche
I wish I can
on...
actually say it was Chuck E. Cheese's birthday party at a park.
Oh,
Marco's Pizza though, it was good.
Hey, Marco's Pizza is good. Pizza is good. So I co-sign that. And then Uche. Yeah, Uche will be on Mario Kart tonight. So you got to tune in. We're going to be playing Mario Kart on Twitch and on YouTube. I'll be hosting it on the YouTube side. Ryan will be hosting it on the Twitch side. You'll be getting his perspective on Twitch, my perspective on YouTube. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And Uche should be there. He's usually there every week. So,
yep, absolutely. We need somebody to stay at the bottom. So that's how it is. Jay asked a question. Who do you guys have in the big fight tonight? Well, no one, because there's not going to be a winner or loser.
What a waste of a fight. I am not buying that fight.
Mm-hmm. I think it's you can't take this seriously, man. Like, if Logan Paul lasts more than 10 seconds in the ring, it's a joke. And he will, because Floyd is going to make this.
He's going to drag this out 5 rounds.
He's going to drag this out. And they're going to try to make more money later on. That's it. This is not a question, man. It's not a question. But I don't think anybody really takes this fight seriously. I think people look at this as a professional wrestling match.
Mm.
And if you're watching it from a professional wrestling standpoint, I think you can be entertained, because that's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's absolutely a stunt. All it is a money, man. I mean, boxing is becoming a joke because of these sideshows. These sideshows are actually bigger than actual real boxing matches now.
Well, I mean,
it's probably going to be the biggest pay-per-view ever.
Yeah, I blame this. I blame this on boxing, though. If boxing was more relevant, then you wouldn't need this type of stuff. Like the promoters and the lack of accessibility over the years for boxing has made boxing this niche thing. You know what I mean? So now, like, you got to a point where if you like back in the day when you had the heavyweights, the Tysons and the Holyfields and all of that, even when you move into the middleweight people like Roy Jones Jr., I mean, Roy Jones was just fantastic to watch, but the accessibility of these things was always a niche because it was this big pay-per-view event. And there was nothing else with big boxing matches or shows that were just there accessible to the general public. You know what I mean? So it was always this event type of mentality. And now we don't have personalities in boxing anymore. Personalities is what draws people in. And so now boxing is being overrun by people with personalities and following, and it's got a gimmick element to it. So I blame that on boxing and no one else.
But I can guarantee Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, that's going to do really well. That's the actual boxing match. But I mean, it's two old guys, but
yeah, that's going to be kind of, I don't know. I mean, I want to watch it. I mean,
me too.
Just like I want to watch any train wreck, but I just don't think it's going to be embarrassing. Oh man.
We just had the Tyson Roy Jones Jr. one. That was it was kind of brutal to watch. I hope the other one's better, but I don't know.
Tyson was kicking his ass, man.
Yeah.
It may have well have been a fucking Mayweather Logan Paul fight. They were just fucking old. Where am I? Here we go. Noah Booty for $5. Who you got in the NFC East this year? Will any team go 8-8 or better? I think the winner will be 8-9. Actually, I think maybe Dak's Dallas Cowboys will go 8-9.
Yeah, I think Dallas is my pick to win the division, but it might be 8-9.
They should win that division if Dak stays upright.
Yeah, it should be Dallas, but it will probably be, like I said, now that we have the extra game, it might be 8-9. It's gonna be funny.
Yeah, it's absolutely gonna happen, and I mean, I guess we'll see how Fly Eagles fly with Jalen Hurts and his 47% completion percentage.
I love Jalen Hurts. I love Jalen Hurts so much. He's not an NFL quarterback. He's not an NFL quarterback.
As soon as those numbers go down below 50%, Jeremy hops on the train.
No,
he's like, that's my quarterback.
Motherfucker, I've been loving Jalen Hurts since college, but even going back to Alabama, I always felt he just wasn't a quarterback. Like, he's a running back that will occasionally throw. And
is Jeremy lagging up for you, John, at all? He's lagging up for me a little bit sometimes.
No.
His camera. All right.
That's fine.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe John stays so still that I never see him lag. Maybe it's me. I don't know.
Chat, am I lagging up?
It's every once in a while you'd be like, but you'll keep hearing your voice though.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Fuck you.
There you go. Dark Side Droids for $5. Sports Wars pizza takes are worse than Skip Bayless's Dallas takes.
What's wrong with our pizza takes?
He doesn't. Dark Side Droids obviously doesn't like Marco's Pizza.
Really? What's wrong with Marco's Pizza? Have you tried Marco's Pizza, Ryan?
I don't know what that is.
It's damn good, man.
Where's it at?
Good. It's good.
It's a big chain, I guess.
They're pretty well. I mean, they started popping up here in Florida several years ago. I don't know. I'd say in the last 6 or 7 years, probably.
They're all over Houston.
Okay.
Okay.
But guys, Ryan has said that Whataburger is way better than In-N-Out.
Yeah, officially. I mean,
the guy that eats food off the floor has been sitting there for 3 days.
Which means my palate, I'll eat anything, and I'll tell you how it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's fancy. It doesn't matter if it's fucking cheap. Doesn't matter. I'll give you my honest feedback. And I would eat Whataburger before In-N-Out. Man, not even a question.
I just don't like you. So
I found Marco's Pizza. There's some in San Diego. I guess I'll have to go try it. They kind of look. It doesn't look good.
It's almost like a Pizza Hut. Actually, maybe. It may be better than Pizza Hut. It's thick crust pizza.
Delicious pizza bowls. What the fuck is a pizza bowl? Some things you don't have fucking carbs. What the fuck is this trash?
I guess so.
Look at this.
I didn't know they had pizza bowls.
Delicious pizza bowls. That's for people like John who ain't eating any carbs.
See, but I ate the pizza. I had the actual pizza last week. I
didn't have much of a choice. Crispy pepperonis, but I'll have to try it. There's some in San Diego, so
that crust is really good.
I'll have to try it. Samurai Dragon for $2. Luka Doncic is the only one who can save the NBA. I think there's a lot of great young players in the NBA. There really is, and I think they're going to get a little bit of a chance to have a showcase now that LeBron James is gone. And speaking of that, let's talk about bitch-ass LeBron James. LeBron James, who in Game 5 walked off the court with 5 minutes left. LeBron James, who quit on his team. LeBron James, who, when he was trying to come back from a simple ankle sprain, claimed, "I'm never going to be the same again. I'm having to struggle through it." Like, LeBron James is a baby beta bitch. And he just quit on his team again, this time for the Lakers, this time in the first round of the playoffs, and they got bounced in Game 6 by the Suns.
Yeah, and again, I talked about – go ahead, John. Go ahead.
By the way, didn't he have a police escort back to the locker room?
I think he did. They were protecting him from Kyrie water bottles.
Interesting.
Damn. I mean, somebody just said, I bet this dude won't call LeBron a bitch to his face. I mean, we've seen LeBron get called. Wasn't LeBron called a bitch by a woman in the audience, and he had to get security to kind of stop and help him be like, "Oh, don't call LeBron a B word." You know, Mr. Anti-police officer needed a security guard to protect him from a woman in the audience calling him a bitch. Let me see if I can find that shit.
Draymond Green called him a bitch.
Yeah, like LeBron James is free to come on this channel. LeBron James has an open invitation. I'll call him a bitch to his face. That's fine.
He'll never do it.
Maybe Kwame will get him on. Maybe Kwame Brown will get him on his channel. Here
we go. I got it. This is what happens when you call LeBron James a bitch. Is he gets his paid security even though he's so anti-police officer. I got to open it up on this different tab. Disrespectful Warrior fan calls LeBron James a pussy bitch. Pussy ass bitch.
Yeah.
Here it is right here.
Hey, watch your mouth, woman.
Watch your mouth, woman. That's how you respect women? Is that how you respect women? LeBron, watch your mouth, woman. Get back into the kitchen, woman. That's how LeBron James, he gets his security guards to take up for him when a woman calls him a crybaby pussy ass bitch.
And just for the record, I have called a couple NBA players bitches in person before. Of course, I was drunk, and they were on my own team. Derrick Rose in the playoffs. It was a playoff game against the Washington Wizards, and he, in my opinion, was maybe the healthiest dude on the team, but still refused to come back after one of his knee injuries. And I got hammered because I was pissed off. And I fucking looked him dead in the eye from maybe like 10 rows back. I said, "Derrick Rose, you're a fucking pussy. You're a bitch. You're the healthiest dude on this team, and you're the only one in street clothes. Fuck you." And he looked right at me, and he went like this. So that was my Derrick Rose experience. I may have had a little too much to drink that day. I almost got kicked out of the game, actually. Brass Man for $5. There's always a history with the Browns. Every time ESPN hype about the Browns most of the time will have a disappointing season. That is the thing when it comes to the Browns, is when you don't expect them to do anything, they might actually do something. When people are talking about and picking them, "Oh, they're my dark horse to make the Super Bowl," then they fucking kind of collapse. So hopefully they have a good season. I like Baker.
Here we go. We got another female going after LeBron.
I want to see the ones that are like Jersey Housewives. Is this the ones?
Yeah.
Yes.
Since these two teams met, we've got a lot of jawing going on the front row, and
LeBron getting her kicked out.
Yeah, I remember this.
Getting involved.
She called me a bitch.
I mean, the referees are actually telling the security they may want to usher somebody to the out of the building.
They might be gone. I think this was happening also. Somebody was all over LeBron.
They're still on LeBron. I think that's what it is.
A few minutes ago, and I know
these two women. I can't handle two females. I can't handle two females calling me a bitch, so I will get them kicked out of the game.
Executive of the Cavaliers that set LeBron off.
Here you go.
Cleveland.
That's who scares LeBron.
Wow.
Blonde women.
She's pointing like that one meme. with the lady and the cat. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, LeBron is pathetic. So yeah, so that's what happens if you call LeBron a bitch in real life. He gets his paid security to then escort these people out or take up for him, because that's LeBron James, the person who's all about anti-police and law enforcement. Gets police escorts everywhere he goes and gets security to take up for him when women are calling him names.
I mean,
there's your champion right there.
If you think that LeBron James would have actually done something, he still passed the ball to Delonte West. Like, I mean, come on. This guy still passed the ball to Delonte after Delonte went downtown to Pound Town on LeBron's mom. So I don't know what you think he's going to do. But yes, that's LeBron James. And the Lakers are out. Like, the Suns advance on. Kudos to the Suns. Devin Booker had an absolutely ridiculous game. Chris Paul made some big buckets when it mattered. That team had the pieces it needed to beat a LeBron-led Lakers team. You had a rim protector in DeAndre Ayton. You had Jamison Crowder, who could hassle LeBron, give LeBron problems. You had lots of people who could guard him on the switch. All things you need in order to, stop LeBron, and they did that. And he gave up on his team. He looked like shit. After the game, Jeremy, you made a video about this. He was making jokes about Space Jam 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's his mentality right there. I mean, he's just all about LeBron. Again, there's nothing inherently bad about being, focused, self-centered and things like that. But when you are trying to claim yourself as the king, as the GOAT, as the person that's, supposed to be recognized as better than Michael Jordan, or even in that discussion, and you show this mentality over and over again, it's why people are calling you out. It's all about that bar that he has tried to set for himself, and he cannot meet that bar. He can't do it, and that's the biggest problem with LeBron James. And when you get embarrassed in the playoffs like they did, and for his response to just be about Space Jam 2 and making jokes, I mean, could you imagine Jordan doing that, or Kobe? We've seen how Kobe acts when he loses. You know what I mean? Like, do you guys remember that? I'll play it real quick. Do you guys remember that clip of Kobe Bryant when he was on Jimmy Kimmel? You remember that?
I remember the interview. I don't remember the question.
I can't recall.
This is what I miss right here, and this is why Kobe Bryant is, my favorite player ever. So I think this is the clip right here.
Yes, Chad. I did say Jamison Crowder. I didn't mean the wide receiver. I meant Jay Crowder, the small forward. So
right here.
No, you want to win. And
Yeah.
It's
really
yeah. Hard, man. It's hard to be in that environment when we're literally like at the bottom of the league.
Well, you're welcome to come hang out here.
Thank you. Thank you. It's tough.
I saw a clip today that I feel like I have to show you, because I must know what your reaction to this is.
Okay.
So the Lakers had an 8-game losing streak.
Uh-huh.
They beat the Celtics. Overtime. Great. This is from after that game.
yeah, I remember this shit.
Come back before so you got some friends here.
You feel me? We back in the building. Y'all thought we was gone. My man Jay Lane was doing his thing. Jay Hill doing his thing.
Nick out there hitting his free throws. You know how he do it. Jay Lane going to the basket like it ain't nothing to do.
Hey, Mike, man, you got a nice suit on today, too, man.
Appreciate that, Swag.
You got that
as well.
Wow, look at Kobe.
Now, would that happen if you were there? Would there be a celebration?
Yeah.
When I saw that, all I could think of was you.
That's so good. That's so good.
Damn, I miss Kobe so much, man. Damn it. But that's the Mamba mentality. That's why people like us get frustrated with LeBron James, and it just sucks, man. Damn, I miss Kobe. Miss him so much. It's crazy what happened, but fuck LeBron James.
Yeah, fuck LeBron James. And he now is, they're coming out with the excuses now. Here we go. LeBron James was 85% healthy in first round loss to the Suns due to ankle
Don't-
injury. Per
don't care.
report.
No passes, man. When you're on the court, you deliver.
Yep.
Yep.
I wanna
So
hear
we knew this was going to happen. He was setting this up. LeBron James set this up when
Yeah,
we
he
called
did.
him out weeks ago for talking about his ankle injury, for saying that I don't know if I'll ever be the same. I don't know if I can ever recover from this. You saw doctors saying, like Dr. David Chow was like, that's a weird thing to say. I've never heard that kind of defeatist attitude about a simple fucking ankle sprain from a top level athlete. He was setting this up as an excuse. He saw the writing on the wall. He wanted to make sure that he had an out. This is his out. You've seen dumbass bitches like Shannon Sharp talking about this. Well, he was injured, so we can't really hold it against him. Fuck you. LeBron James played up this ankle injury. What, was he 100% healthy? Probably not. Spoiler alert, no one who plays 82 games is probably going to go in 100% healthy. That's just how it is. Chris Paul fucking looked like his shoulder was popping out of its socket every fucking game, right? Chris Paul continued to go out there and play. I think he was playing it up a little bit too, to be honest with you. But these little leaks, sources, yeah, I'm sure LeBron James camp is now leaking this. That's what's going on.
I mean, didn't we just hear a story about Tom Brady was pretty much dealing with a knee injury most of the season last year?
Bingo.
Didn't we? But we didn't hear about it. We didn't hear Brady when Brady made his all-time disastrous, 4 right there at the end of the game when he fucked up, when he thought it was 4th down, and he didn't hear him go, well, my knee was been bothering me and I just lost. No, like it just like we didn't even know that Brady was struggling with an injury because he never made it an excuse. And there were times last season where the Buccaneers were struggling. They got blown out by the fucking Saints in the second game and the first game, but expected the first game. But that second game on Sunday Night Football, that was embarrassing. And you never heard Brady go, oh, my knees hurt. And we didn't even know about it until after the season. And it's just that LeBron, he represents this generation so well.
Hakeem Olajuwon played. He played during the NBA season during the month of Ramadan, fasting, no food or no water, all day long. And he came out and he played and refused any food or water, made no excuses. The man played 18 seasons, did it every single year, no excuses. He never said, oh, it's because I'm fasting. He never made an excuse.
Yep. By the way, where'd it go? Josh Lay, a Harold Miner reference. Respect for that. That's a name I did not think I would ever repeat again.
Baby Jordan.
Baby Jordan. Harold Miner. Holy shit. I have not heard that name in forever. Wow. Harold. I remember the hype for Harold Miner, dude. People were like, oh, it's Baby Jordan. He's gonna be the next Jordan. And I can't even remember his career. Like, I guess he was decent. He was decent overall, but he was never great. He was never even an all-star, I don't think.
They were calling him Baby Jordan mainly because the
look and the dunk and he had the
dunks.
looks. Yeah, because he did go into the slam dunk contest, if I'm not mistaken.
That's why they called him Baby Jordan, but he wasn't even close to being anybody really relevant on the court.
Yeah. Freaking Harold Miner, man. I remember that name. I remember that name a lot. Because that's
this one, Jimmer Fredette, greater than LeBron. And you know what? Jimmer Fredette's also well liked in China because that's where he had to go to fucking play. But I love Jimmer Fredette.
Jimmer Fredette was awesome, dude. Just that whole thing about him was crazy to watch.
Stephon Marbury is a legend in China.
Yeah. You know, another one, another guy that I don't even remember if he made it to the NBA, Felipe Lopez from St. John's. Did he ever make it to the NBA?
I remember that name.
Yeah, he was like, dude, when he was in college, like they were hyping him up to be like the next like great thing. He was in college the same time as Stephon Marbury was. But I don't know if Felipe Lopez even made it to the NBA. That's interesting.
I remember watching Artest. Artest went to St. John's, I believe. As I remember when the Bulls they got the number 1 pick and they had another first round pick, I thought, and that's how they got Artest. But they got Elton Brand and Ron Artest in the same draft when I was really young.
Felipe Lopez played for Vancouver. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons. 6 seasons in the NBA. He averaged, what's his points per game. I'm looking for his PPG right now. Man, like 6 points a game. So yeah, so Felipe, yeah, he was he was huge in high school and in college. And like I said, him and Stephon Marbury were kind of like the big deal. And I never heard about him. My favorite player, one of my favorite players ever, was Glenn Big Dog Robinson. And when he went to Purdue, and I know you know about him.
He's a Boilermaker.
Yeah, so at Purdue, like Glenn Robinson was like his final season in Purdue, he was insane. He led the nation in scoring. He was fucking stupid. He was the national college player of the year that year. He was the first overall pick, and I was just convinced that he would be like a legend. And he was a good player. He had a really solid career. He just never really, like his first season, he was really good. I think Jason Kidd and Grant Hill won the co-rookie of the year that year, and Glenn Robinson barely missed out on being right there with them. And overall, he had a good career. I think he won a championship with the Spurs, but he never really elevated to like a consistent all-star caliber player.
He was one of those guys who you expected like the game to continue to elevate. You know, that's what you expect from these guys in college. And I mean, 20 points a game, which 20 points in the game in the 90s isn't anything to fucking like scoff at. But it didn't.
He had that expectation. Yeah, he had massive expectations. I mean, I think he was expected to be like a Karl Malone, you know, or something like that. And he just was a good player. He was a solid player.
a really good player. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I get you. I'm sure he made a couple all-star games, right? I'm sure he
I would have to imagine he did. I would have to. I don't recall. I feel like he did. Glenn Big Dog Robinson, man. That was my boy.
Glenn Robinson. Glenn Robinson made two all-star games. Yeah, two all-star games.
Okay.
So, yeah. There you go.
And just for note, Harold Miner averaged 9 points per game. He played 4 seasons. 2-time slam dunk champion. That's why he was Baby Jordan.
Jordan.
Man, Corey, everyone's got their
Corey Maggette.
Fat Sean Kemp. Sean Kemp went to a rival high school of mine. And like not while I was there, like well before. But there were a lot of people that had stories about Sean Kemp and how basically like the dude essentially needed to ride the short bus to school. Those are the reports.
Yeah.
But
dude was that dude. Sean Kemp probably
awesome, he probably had the best in-game dunk of all time, and it was completely disrespectful. He dunked on Patrick Ewing, and then he pointed at him.
Was that Ewing? I don't think that was Ewing, was it?
I think that was Patrick Ewing that got dunked.
I don't think that was Patrick Ewing.
Sean Kemp couldn't palm a fucking ball.
I thought it was Patrick Ewing.
I don't think it's Patrick Ewing. I know the dunk. Alton Lister. It was Alton Lister. Wait, was it? Let's see.
Oh, I bet. You got a video clip of it?
When you look up Sean Kemp dunks, Alton Lister's like the top result.
Oh, I'm thinking of probably Scottie Pippen dunking.
Oh my gosh, that's like, dude, people don't understand, man. Like, you look at this clip right here, and this is just like people don't understand. This is a different game. This was a different game. Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it so I don't crackle. I was looking at it too because it's kind of a long clip. Yeah, you see the after effects there.
This is just a different game. Look at the energy. You know, like full screen that shit. Look at the energy. Like it's a different game, man. There we go. Let's see this shit. This is and the slow-mo replay after is perfect too.
Oh man. This looks so much better.
Look at that bitch. What do you do?
Yeah, you're right. Alton Lister. Yeah. Why did I think Patrick Ewing? Because maybe Patrick Ewing got posterized by so many great players. I got him confused.
It's so good.
Yeah, like Sean Kemp couldn't, from my understanding, Sean Kemp couldn't palm the ball. Like, I don't know why. His hands must have been just like weirdly small or something. That's why you see him carry this, cradle this thing.
I was cradling it.
Mm-hmm. Like, watch it. You can see from the replay, he'll cradle.
Ooh. So beautiful, dude. So beautiful.
See, they would have called a technical foul today in today's NBA.
Dude, they would have kicked him out of the league for that shit today.
Is this more or less offensive or like, you know, triggering than what Shaq did to God, who was that? The fucking white dude for the Knicks.
Where he pushed him down? Where he
fucking like humped him. He like fucking
Shaq's was worse. Shaq's was worse. Shaq's, look that one up. Shaq's was worse because Shaq abused that dude, man. Like it was bad. Shaq abused him. Like it was so bad.
Chris Dudley.
No, Chris Dudley, yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, this Shaq dunk is far worse, in my opinion, from a disrespectful standpoint.
Oh yeah, this is the worst thing that has ever happened to any human.
He just throws. He humps him and then he throws.
Hey, at least Chris Dudley fought back.
Oh yeah,
it's true.
Well, he had a right to fight back on this one.
Yeah.
Look at Kobe. He's like, whoa, what the fuck? We got to show that. Oh, here it is.
He's 6'11" and 260.
Oh, that's not it.
He was upset. He thought Shaq pushed him after that.
He thought Shaq. Here it is.
Power. He just overpowers them, and he comes down, and then he shoves it.
He did shove him. Hey, you should find that Scottie Pippen, Patrick Ewing dunk, because that one.
Yeah, that one's good.
The man literally humped his chest and then shoved him on the ground when he was done with it.
And he comes down, and then he shoves him right there. They called the foul on Shaq on that.
Yeah, they would have suspended Shaq today for that.
Yeah, well, they call a tech on him, so I mean, probably deservedly so. We'll look at the Scotty one, and then
I got one more. I'm gonna show everybody.
Okay.
This was I wonder if a lot of people have seen this. This is just to show the greatness of Jordan. Right here. Have you seen this, Ryan? Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It can be for real. You haven't got me yet. Mike,
don't even try it.
You want me to go call Scotty?
You have to call Scotty.
Boy.
What are you gonna call Scotty for? I haven't got it. Yeah, I agree with that.
No, you haven't got me in 6 years. 1, 2, 3, just go ahead and say it. No. He said, I'll get you one day.
No. He never dunked on you. He never put you on the highlight.
No. Yeah, get on my poster, but it's not happening.
It's not gonna happen. You know it ain't lying. Oh man. All right, we're gonna cancel your green.
Boy, who gets Scotty?
I'ma just do it.
That's great.
And then he gave him the shake. He gave him the fucking whack. No.
Oh man, so good, dude.
Man, I missed the NBA, man.
Yeah, good
He
stuff,
remembers
man.
everything. We'll do the Patrick Ewing one. Then we'll be. Why is this one got fucking ads on it? God damn it! No one gives a fuck about this.
Shot clock at 6. Davis. Oakley rejected by
Rejected by yeah. Whoop.
Myers for Pippen.
Oh my God! And he just stepped all over him. Damn.
That was nasty.
That
right
was
there, man.
filthy.
That was nasty.
Bulls answer to John Stark's spectacular dunk last year.
Then he just stood over it.
Fucking
wow.
Oh, love it, man. Love it.
Damn, bring back the 90s NBA, man.
Yeah, I can watch those kind of highlights all fucking day.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Benjamin Bellamy for $3. ShamWow Fight of the Year. I don't remember what that's about.
What's that now?
The ShamWow Fight of the Year.
Probably Logan Paul and Mayweather.
That's right. It's like a chamois. It's like a towel. It's like a sponge. Most towels only work dry. These work wet or dry. Timothy Major for $2. Unlike LeBron, Jordan fights to the end of the game. Indeed. Indeed, Timothy. Nick T for $5 gives his prediction. Cowboys 8-8-1. 8-8-1. God,
Pretty good. They're like, we're committed to our 500 record, and we're not going to let an extra game get in the way of that.
Can you carry it for a sec? Just give me.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So I mean, with the Cowboys, like I said, what is it in the last like 15 years? Don't they have like a 500 record? Aren't you? And you're a Cowboy. Are you a Cowboys fan?
Yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan.
All right. So what is it, like a 500 record? Is what they are
last 15 years? Probably.
Yeah, it's something like that. So
I don't know for sure.
I could totally see the Cowboys just going like, we need to get a tie because we don't want to go 8-9. We want to go 8-8. Like, I would have to look up the Cowboys record to see that. Dallas Cowboys record last 15 years. I feel like they just like are a consistent like 500 team.
It seems that way. They're definitely probably over because they had some pretty good seasons. They had three straight 8-8 seasons with Jason Garrett.
Now, let me see. I'm looking. So Cowboys team history. Well, this goes up to 2019. So they were 8-8, then 10-6, 9-7, 13-3, but then 4-12, 12-4, 8-8, 8-8. From 2011 to 2013, they had 3 straight 8-8 seasons.
Yeah.
Then they went 12-4, but then they offset that by going 4-12. What the? That's hilarious.
Wow.
So they went 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, and then 12-4, and then 4-12. But then back to 13-3, then 9-7, then 10-6, then 8-8, and then whatever they went last year. What did they go last year?
4-12.
They go 4-12 last year. So
something like that, I think.
Yeah. So they're committed to their 500 record.
Yeah, they got to go 12-4 this year to make up for it. So, Noah Booty for $5. I'd take Tebow at quarterback 1 over Jalen Hurts. Hashtag Tebow time.
Tebow time, baby. I would take Tebow over Jalen.
I think it'd be interesting to let them duke it out in training camp, see who wins the spot. Mike Hill for 10. LeBron finally realized he lives in cartoon world. Yes, he does. Literally, that's the only way he's going to be able to win. In his mind. The Greg for 5. Give LeBum a break, guys. You don't know the stress of being hunted every day. Speaking of bums, fire Chip Gummy.
Oh God.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, LeBron is always going to be a joke to anybody who pays attention to the game of basketball. Again, great player, all-time great player. Okay, I've never disputed that, but what he's done to the league in recent years and his mentality, and not only what he's done to the league, but what he's done to society in a lot of ways, and the platform this guy has and this nonsense he spews, it has to be called out. It just does. And that's why we do it. I don't respect LeBron James. I don't respect him as a man. I don't respect him as a basketball player anymore. I do respect his abilities, but I don't respect what he's done to the league. And I'm never going to. The lies that comes out of this man's mouth are just insane.
Yeah, and then it's just combined with all the stuff, the way he's acting on the court and all that stuff. It all adds up to a very unlikable person as the face of the league.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Newbert for 5. Even Jared Goff has more mental toughness than LeBron. Played a playoff game with his thumb half off. LeBron James is embarrassing.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, 100%. Wheezy Bird for $2. Notice how the media has been quiet on the ratings. Yeah, I guess I haven't really heard too much of it. I mean, I know you guys cover ratings a lot on Black and White. I don't know how the playoffs have stacked up. I have no idea.
Rhodes said that the website that he normally uses has been down, so that's why he hadn't really been putting up much on the ratings.
Sports Media Watch typically has a lot of stuff. But I haven't really seen anything from them, at least not lately. You guys, I remembered one more dunk that I wanted to show. Back from a man when he used to have hair. If you remember this one.
Bonato gets with a sloppy pass. Carter.
Oh my God.
And the crowd responds.
Wow.
Vince Carter.
Wow. Dude had hops like nobody. Holy crap.
That's over a 7-footer here.
Whew.
You got to get a better angle, though. Yeah, here it is. Here's the angle I wanted. Oh!
Jeez.
Like a KG.
What year was this?
Probably the 2000 Olympics.
2000.
Jeez.
Sydney, yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy, dude.
Just based on when Vince came in the league in like what 98 or something. So yeah, 2000. Back when there's not a lot of him with hair like that.
Is this dude still in the league?
No, he retired.
I know.
I was like, I couldn't. When I saw him in the league last year, what the hell is going on? What year is it?
All the comments are from like last year. For some reason, this was only like published a year ago. That's kind of strange, but whatever.
Probably when he retired.
Maybe. Yeah. Bert Maurer for 2. John, my man, what are your thoughts on Vikings draft?
The Vikings?
Yes.
I didn't really keep up too much with that draft. That's probably something for Rhodes. He watches the draft religiously. I really didn't watch.
Right,
I really didn't watch the draft that much, so I can't really say on that.
Yeah, I thought the draft overall, it was interesting, but it fell a little flat for me for the most part. I mean, my Bama players represented very well, as they always do, so I was happy about that. And,
really, the only thing that I thought was of interest for the Vikings was they drafted the QB from Texas A&M, Kellen something.
Yeah.
Kellen Mond, is that his name? That was the only thing of interest to me was, when are they going to decide that maybe it's time to stop paying fucking Kirk Cousins fucking money?
Kirk Cousins is the definition of failing upward. Maybe white privilege is real. Kirk Cousins is fucking proving it. I don't know. But I'd say, like, all I know is Tim Tebow beat the Vikings when he was a starting quarterback. So.
Oh God.
Braylon Van Zant for $5. Leweek has time to check on his stepdad, Delonte West. I mean, he was hoping he could get to the next round, so him and Mark Cuban could get together and figure out how best to care for his daddy. But I don't know.
Kirk Cousins is Andy Dalton. I like that. I'd say Andy Dalton's better, but go ahead, Ryan.
It's
Andy Dalton's better. I'd say Andy Dalton's slightly better than Kirk Cousins, and I'm not a fan of Andy Dalton, but I think he's better than Kirk Cousins.
I don't know.
I think he's a little bit.
They're both so mediocre. It's
no,
tough.
I agree.
I will say, like, when the spotlight is on, Kirk Cousins fucking crumbles. But other than that, like, other than if it's not a fucking like Sunday night game or a playoff game, yeah, I'm probably gonna take Kirk Cousins all the time before I take Andy Dalton.
Brainless II says Kirk Cousins got $90 million fully guaranteed. GOAT.
That's true. Yeah, like crazy. Like that's a dude who bet on himself a couple times when he was with the Redskins and has just parlayed it into a fucking shit ton of money for playing, a little bit better than average. So
yep.
Gotta give it to him. The prodigal heel for $5. So Jones to the Titans. Yes, Julio Jones is being traded to the Tennessee Titans for at least a second-round pick.
I don't think it's official yet, but it's pretty close.
No, it's supposed to be in a few days, I think.
The deal is done. Whether it gets officially approved, it's really just pending a physical. That's really the only thing that they would technically be waiting on. So it should get done in the next 24 to 48 hours. Obviously, those things have become more difficult in the pandemic because now there's certain things you got to make sure people haven't gone anywhere, close contact, before they even go into the team doctor and get a fucking physical. But in the next 24 to 48 hours, unless Julio Jones breaks his fucking leg, he's going to be a Tennessee Titan. Jock Nerdy for $5 over on Streamlabs. Thank you, Jock Nerdy. Says, do you think LeBron is enjoying his early vacation? I know I am. LeBron has actually backtracked on, what he'd said about his ankle. Now he said that the injury won't affect him long term. I'm not worried about anything. I just need rest. I was told that from the beginning. I gave what I had. Let me show you this quote. I just saw it in this article.
What a fucking piece of shit, dude.
I gave what I had. I did everything I could. I was warrior.
He fucking walked off the court with 5 minutes left. He walked away from his team. He quit on his team.
Didn't he do it twice in this series? That was the second time, right?
Well, no, he only walked. So there's some confusion about it. In game 5, he walked off the floor while they were getting blown out with 5 minutes left. 5:30 on the clock is when he walked through the tunnel. People were talking about after the game, there was some criticism because he didn't shake hands. I don't give a fuck about that, honestly. Like I honestly don't give a fuck about that. Especially because later on, there were images of like him and Devin Booker after the game, like swapping jerseys and shit like that.
I agree. I think it's unfair to criticize somebody for that. If that's, I don't think that's the biggest problem in the world. I would prefer people to be, to shake the hands, but it's, that's just piling on. But criticizing for walking off the court, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I agree. And ideally, you want people to be there and be good sports. I can tell you at times I've been so fucking mad. I would not want to shake someone's hand. Like I'm okay with that in that situation. That's not the end of the world to me. But
yeah,
I'm not a LeBron simp. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But yeah, what a cocksucking bitch. I hate LeBron James, like you all do. So thank you for being here today.
Yeah, I mean, we enjoy roasting LeBron. I've seen a few people get really mad at us for roasting LeBron, and that's just part of it. That's what we do.
Mr. Bubba Matt, what's up, brother? For $5 says, I was really hoping Julio would go to my Bills. Him and Stephon Diggs would be a force to be reckoned with. Talk about some downfield weapons for a guy with a big arm.
Highlight Mr. Bubba Matt.
His shirt.
Yeah, man, rocking that Geeks and Gamers shirt right there. Do we have Teespring linked to this channel? We need to get our Teespring linked to this channel, like we do on the Geeks and Gamers channel.
Well, we actually get Sports Wars merch up there, yeah.
Yep, but look at that shirt. He's part of the Bills Mafia, obviously, but big supporter of Geeks and Gamers, so we appreciate it.
Absolutely. Shout out Mr. Bubba Matt. Good to see you, buddy. Prodigal Heel for $3. I'm going for Durant and the Nets. Like the Nets. Do you guys even know? Like Jay texted me this the other day.
James Harden got hurt.
Oh, did he get hurt bad?
I think hamstring.
He's been dealing with the hammy all year long. I didn't hear anything. Aggravated hamstring injury. He leaves early in game 1. They still won against the Bucks in game 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been massive for them. But at the same time, that's a loaded team. They got Kevin Durant. They got Kyrie Irving. They got an old Blake Griffin on that team. Jay texted me the other day. He's like, I didn't even know Blake Griffin was on this team. It kind of quietly happened. But yeah, he's there. So
they're probably going to be the favorites to win it all.
Yep.
They should have been before the Lakers got bounced too. But they're loaded, and they have a little bit easier route in the East for sure than whoever's the slaughter fest that it's going to take to get out of the West. Liberty or death for 2. I hate LeBron. He does seem like a good father, though. Oh, well, I mean, yeah. He's very invested in his kids', basketball stuff, and I think he kind of makes his son's basketball games about himself, to be quite honest with you. But I'm not going to speak about his, parenting skills. All I can speak about is the bullshit that comes out of his mouth and his play on the court.
For everything we've seen, LeBron seems like a really decent family guy. I don't think we can take that away from him, and that's not really something that is really pertains to him on the court. But yeah, I don't think you can criticize him for that. I don't think that's necessarily something you should criticize or praise per se. That's just whatever. Let him do his thing. But it seems like he is a decent family guy. If you want to bring that up, yeah, for sure.
I see people asking, where's your source? Where's your source on the Julio trade? It's Ian Rappaport.
Yep.
This was from about an hour and a half ago. The Falcons are trading all-pro wide receiver Julio Jones to the Titans in exchange for at least a second-round pick. A blockbuster for Tennessee, who gets the coveted big play threat. And Atlanta ends up with very nice value. In fact, this trade is going to literally allow the Falcons to sign their fucking here's actual full terms. The deal is now officially done. The Falcons will get a 2022 second-round pick, and Atlanta gets the Titans 4, and they give back their 6 in 2023. So a little bit more than a second-round pick. For
What is
Julio
that
Jones.
picture there? What is that picture of the Deons?
He's about to fucking light it up.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
And so there you go. The Titans take on Jones' salary of $15.3 million in 2021 and the rest of the deal. The Falcons have $7.75 in dead money this year. So they still end up. So the cap hit for Julio, like I said before, would be about $23.5 million. So the Titans are taking the salary. The Falcons are eating the rest of that cap hit. So still, they're trading him and still have to pay, still have the $7.5 million in dead money, which is a lot. But it tells you exactly how much that motherfucker's getting paid.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we'll see. I mean, I think this is a short term. The Titans are going for the short term gain, and they're hoping to get a pop this year. And I think they're going to be pretty competitive. So it'd be interesting to see how it all plays out. But I don't think it's a terrible deal for either place, for either team. I think both teams are going to get what they want. You know, the Falcons have a lot of freed up money now, and the Titans are going to be able to try to make some noise this year. But I don't think they're going to do anything legitimate. But they do have a chance to win the AFC. Is it South? Is that where they're at?
South, yeah.
South, yeah. So.
Yeah, Kyle says, I don't know why they'd want Julio so bad when they have A.J. Brown, the same type of receiver. I mean, Julio Jones can do fucking anything.
But I mean, it might be the same type, but Julio's better, far better.
If you gave me 2 Julio Jones on either side of the ball,
and Derrick Henry and Derrick Henry in the background. I mean, that's nasty. That's a nasty offense right there. So I'm excited to at least see what happens.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy for sure. Mike Hill for 5. One of the reasons the 90s NBA was great because of David Stern. David Stern took no shit. David Stern kept the players in line. And now Cuck Adam Silver has let himself be bent over by the players. And now the players are running the league, and that's why they're losing fans. Bottom line.
Right.
Yep. I did want to thank everybody for a huge turnout today. So again, we love sports wars. We love talking sports. We love bitching about sports when players are, like LeBron James or pushing politics. We're looking forward to the NFL season. We got a lot of plans for the NFL season with like fantasy football, probably some DraftKings stuff. We're working on that. And again, we are part of Geeks and Gamers, so make sure you check us out over on geeksandgamers.com. That's kind of our central hub for everything. So if you like what we're doing, go over there, make an account for free. And if you want for $10 a month, you can become a premium member, and that helps build the channel or build the platform for us, build the website, and it gets you some exclusive content. And we got a lot of good stuff in the works right now. So thank you guys so much for the support. We'll be live tonight with Mario Kart on Twitch and YouTube for Geeks and Gamers. It's going to be crazy. A lot of shit talking. A lot of shit talking.
Yeah. Lots of shit talking. I might call Jeremy a retard once or twice. You never know what'll happen.
He typically does that to me constantly. And guess what? I'm okay with it.
Ooh, I don't know, Jeremy. We're in 2021. Mike T for $3. What chances do you think the Jazz will have of finally winning their first championship this year? Love the channel. Thank you, Mike T. Tell you what, Donovan Mitchell seems like he's on a mission. I have a really fucking weird story, actually.
By the way, Stephanie's here. My Nerdy Home in the chat. She's here dropping links. Shout out to Steph.
Shout out to Steph from My Nerdy Home. I have a Lakers hat signed by Donovan Mitchell. So whenever LeBron does finally decide to force a trade and get Donovan Mitchell there, it will be a relevant hat. It's a long, weird story about that, but Donovan Mitchell has the Jazz looking like a legit fucking, like they could legitimately do this thing, not just in the regular season, but make a playoff run, especially with LeBron out in the West. But one more super chat from Ethan Blandon for $2 says, how does it feel when Braun lives rent-free? Well, I'll say it's not rent-free because that motherfucker's been paying rent like a bitch for, the past year. We've grown this channel from 5,000 to over 100,000 subscribers in about a year, thanks to LeBron James. So it feels pretty good.
Yeah, I don't really know how that's a criticism. LeBron James is the most prominent athlete in the United States of America. He's one of the greatest athletes we've ever seen. And he is the face of the NBA, and he has been for 15, 20 years. So to say that LeBron lives rent free in our heads, it's like you're acting like we're the only people that talk about LeBron James. He's the most prominent athlete in the United States of America. So, that's just what we do. We focus on athletes, we focus on sports, and we focus on the most prominent ones. And when they're a bitch, they're a bitch. And we're not here to impress athletes. We're not here to. Again, Uche is part of Geeks and Gamers. Uche knows a lot of these guys. We could probably talk to a lot of these guys if we toned back our criticism. We don't give a fuck. We're here, we're fans, and we're here to be just like you guys are. Like most of you guys that are fans, what do we do when we're talking about sports? We talk shit, okay? We have fun. What happens? What happens every time Tom Brady loses a game? Motherfucker gets clowned on fucking social media like it's the end of the fucking world. He can lose a fucking regular season playoff or a regular season game, and he gets clowned for a fucking week. He's Tom fucking Brady. He's got
the pictures
more
of him
rings than
fucking
anybody.
sitting there like a weird kid on the field, a deflated football, like all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so basically that's what sports is about. It's about talking shit. It's about having fun. It's about, taking advantage of that moment. We all know LeBron's great. We know LeBron's one of the greatest players of all time. No one's disputing that. He's also a bitch. He just is. And we're going to roast him. But sports is about talking shit. Sports is about having fun. Look, one of two things is going to happen this year. Okay. Either I am going to fucking destroy Ryan when Tebow does something in Jacksonville, or Ryan is going to destroy me when Tebow doesn't even fucking walk on the field. Okay. It's going to be fucking great regardless. And that's just what we do. We talk shit. We have fun. We roast each other. And then we shake hands and walk away when it's all said and done. That's
or for LeBron, we don't shake hands.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, talking shit and having fun and back and forth. That's what it's all about right there.
The prodigal heel for 3. LeBron isn't in my top 20. Damn. I'd be interested to hear who's your top 20.
He said he doesn't have LeBron in his top 20.
Mm-hmm. Woo. Smash Ball for $10. Who are your dark horse picks for the NBA playoffs?
For right now,
I don't know. Like, I don't know if you can call Denver a dark horse. To me, I do. Like, without Jamal Murray, I didn't think that Denver was really going to stand a chance. Seeing how they played against Portland, seeing that team and a couple people stepping up, I guess maybe I'd throw them in there as the West is wide open though. As far as the East goes,
I want to see. I hate to say what I'm about to say.
The NBA usually doesn't have dark horses that win titles. They usually don't.
7-game series typically dictates who's the best.
That's true. But we are in a weird place without having, and again, I understand that the Warriors are down this year, the Lakers are down. We're not having LeBron or Curry kind of being there, and it was the first time in a decade that neither one of those guys have been in the league. So I do think that this is a more open year. But I got a feeling that Chris Paul's going to get him a ring this year.
I've heard people say Suns. I actually just saw Joe Bob say Suns 2021 NBA Finals. To me, I think that they beat LeBron. There were times where they made some big fucking mental mistakes that could really have come back to bite them in the ass. They probably should have won by more in some of these occasions. So I don't know.
I have always liked Chris Paul as a point guard and hated him as a player, though, if that makes sense. His flopping and his antics are such a turnoff, but he is that to me, he's one of the last great true point guards, the way he plays the game. And I love that aspect of his game, but I hate him as a player. But I don't know how to explain it really. It's really fucking weird that I like him as a player and I hate him as a player. But Chris Paul, to me, like I've always had a thorn in my side since the Lakers fallout where he got traded to the Lakers, and they killed that deal.
They stopped it.
David Stern blocked it.
Yep. And then they blocked that deal. And I always wondered what would happen, with that. If that would have actually happened, how would that have played out? But there's a part of me that as much as Chris Paul pisses me off, and he does piss me off, I want to see him get a ring. And I don't know why, because I'm torn on this, but I just feel like as that last great kind of point guard, true point guard, I want him to get a ring. So
the problem is, at the most inopportune time, he'll get hurt.
Yeah,
he's already getting hurt. Like, I just don't see.
Yeah, he already got hurt in that first round.
Yeah, I think that what my hope is right now in the West, I hope that the Clippers get beat. So I hope Kawhi and Paul George get knocked out in this Game 7 tonight. I hope Doncic wins, and so that we get to see a West that the 4 teams left are led by Donovan Mitchell, Nikola Jokic, fucking Devin Booker, and Luka Doncic, so that you have these guys that are actually going to get a chance to shine potentially in the West. This really next gen stars in the NBA. So
yeah, yep,
we'll see.
Definitely.
But thank you guys very much. I want to make sure we're good on Streamlabs over here. Been going a little over an hour.
Bert Mara says, I hate NBA so much. James is literally the only player I know of playing and team he's on. That's how disconnected he is from the NBA.
Yeah. All right. But John, you have anything to plug?
Nothing, not really. On the website, we're gonna have a membership tier at $5. That's gonna be coming probably today or tomorrow. That's really about it.
See, that's right there. That's what you should be doing. Talk shit back. Like, fuck you, Ryan. Go Clippers. So that's what we do here.
People in the world that has a Clippers shirt. All right, I get roasted every time I wear it. I bought it at a Clippers game when they was end of the season. They were on sale for $5. It fits great. I love that shirt. Every time I wear it, I get roasted.
You and Billy Crystal, man.
Yeah, I'm fucking doing you a favor. All right, doing you a favor.
So again, tonight, Mario Kart. Follow us on Twitch, Geeks and Gamers on Twitch. Subscribe to the Geeks and Gamers main YouTube channel. And we'll be live, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And again, if you like shit talking, if you like people yelling at each other, it's going to be me, Ryan. We'll have the rest of the Geeks and Gamers team there. Drunk 3PO will be there. Krista, Tugs, Uche, Young Rippa will be there. Lady Rippa will be there. It's going to be fun. So looking forward to it.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks to Steph for modding the chat. Thanks to all the fans that came out, all the super chats, all the likes, all the shares, everything. And we will talk to you guys later. Peace.